we established a call center, if you like, called Operational Support Center for the SIM registration process back on 1st October when we went live. And people actually call us for some of these complaints. As a matter of fact, when it comes to overbilling, as I speak to you now, there's been roughly just about 20 or so cases where people claim they've been overbilled. So we've gone through the system at the back end, and some of them indeed are cases where they've been billed twice and sometimes thrice for the same service. What actually happens is that from what the IT guys tell me, what happens is that in the process of going through the registration, some are given option because they have not confirmed payments on their phone. They are told to confirm payment, and instead of them to check on whether payment is pending on their phone to approve the payment, they rather choose to reset the process. When that happens, the system assumes that you finished with the previous one that you started, and now this is a new session you are starting. So to solve those issues, all of those people who have those issues, we have their phone numbers. After it's been investigated at the back end to prove that indeed this was a case where, generally speaking, somebody might have not registered but then clicked on the wrong button to show that it's been done, and these guys will be refunded, hopefully by close of day tomorrow. All of those guys will be refunded. We also have a case where someone claims to have been double billed, but when we go through the system, the person was only billed once. We have a case where some people try to register a number of times, severally, and then you check and realize that indeed they had no money in their mobile money account, and so they couldn't continue. So we just advise that let's look out for the prompts on why your process hasn't gone through. It tells you exactly what the issue is, and then once you bring this to attention, would have it addressed. And as I mentioned, all those who called us, all those that were picked up from social media and elsewhere, where they reported the issue of double billing or whatever it is, we've noted these ones down and they've been addressed accordingly.
I see. So let me establish this. You're saying that, yes, per your own checks, you have confirmed that people have been overbilled, as in more than the 5 cedis service charge. And you've checked your back end. Some you are going to refund the money, the overbilling to them. That's those who are paid more than 5 cedis.
Yes, exactly so.
So how are you going to check, for instance, to confirm that, yes, this person actually had been overbilled? That's number one. And then also the process of refund.
All right. So you see, at the back end of the app, there's a lot more details that you can see. For example, when you check on it now, it tells you there are about 10,000 or so downloads. When I asked the IT guys a while back, they have actually close to 20,000 downloads on the app. So at the back end, you can tell how many times someone has tried to access the service. At the back end, again, you can tell how much deductions have been made on anyone's account. And sometimes, as I mentioned before, it's because people tend to, instead of clicking on checking to check whether they have a pending payment on their system, they rather will go to reset. And this is what has brought about some of these issues of what you call overbilling. It's just a matter of somebody not going through the process properly. And so at the back end, we know these people, we have their phone numbers. Once it's been checked and then it's been proven that indeed this person should have been charged just 5 cedis for just one registration, or 4 or 20 cedis for 4 registrations, the balance of that will be then remitted back to all of those who have been found in this space. So if for whatever reason you've gone through the process, you have not finished the registration, know that your payment is still pending on your mobile money device, and that once you start, activate that payment and then you continue. However, if you click on reset, it means that you are forgoing what has been done, and that's what has brought about some of these issues of multiple.
Exactly. You see, those who are going through the process, who at a point, in fact, some of the comments I've monitored said, when it got to the point where the system froze or they encountered an issue in the process, then they clicked the reset. But then they had been billed for the first process they started, that did not end. So then in the process of resetting, they are billed again.
So they mustn't go to reset. That's the issue, Alfred. They mustn't go to reset. When you go to reset, it means that you are starting the process all over again. And it's assumed that that's a brand new process. However, when you click on the alternative button, which is about check your payment, you then realize that there's a pending payment on your mobile money account, which you then activate to continue the process. Okay. So all of the people who have had to do twice, 3, 4 times is because they went to reset the system instead of continuing with their payment processes.
So
I'm saying that if whoever has done this error, at the back end is being seen, and all of those refunds will be made to people.
So those people who did their research unknowingly, you're going to refund their monies to them?
Absolutely, yes.
How would they confirm the receipt of the money? Are you sending through mobile money or what?
Same way they paid, yes. Same way they paid. Same way, same way if I send you money and you want to send back to me, you can send back to me the same way that you'll get their monies back through their more money accounts.
I see. Is this not an indication of the limited education and sensitization about the processes of this app, even before it was launched? If people are having issues like this, it raises questions about the extent of sensitization, the education before the app was launched. So that if, for instance, as you're saying, you encounter a challenge, you don't have to go and reset. I mean, people would have known this if you did a lot more education.
So Alfred, let's I think we should put things in perspective. For example, we launched this app around 6 p.m. on Friday. It's gone through the weekend till now. We've had just about three or 4 days with the app. Having said that, the education processes are kicking in just about now, because we have to launch the app. Some of these things come up when you're called. We answer these questions. We are going to be kicking off a more intensive education this week, now that the app is up. And again, so you see, they share about some of these other issues that you mentioned. For example, the issue of these double payments and then how the person gets to know. There are things that as we move on, we enhance, we develop, and then make them better. And so the case that you speak about is kicking in this week. And talking to you is actually one of the ways of doing this. And then we have other channels of communication that will go out there. And indeed, we need to drive home the message on how the app works and some of these frequently asked questions that may pop up on the app. We have communication materials all over the place, but of course, it's never enough. And we know about that. And we are going to be kicking in a bit more of the drive to communicate more to people so they appreciate what is going on. When you face the X challenge, this is what it means. This is how it gets resolved. When you have an issue, you can call us on this number, and all of those other things will come up. So hopefully, once all of the full strength of our comms break out, I'm sure people understand some of these issues and have it work. But having said this, however, Alfred, it's important to also know that there are about 3,000 or so people who have actually finished their registrations already on the app.